We're back for another important video. This is valid questions. Kenny asked again, and Raul, you have some intelligent questions. Bodywork 101. First coat, short strand, U-Paul. I recommend this stuff. It works excellent. It's sand sex. I call it sexy. This stuff works. Second coat. This is not for third and top and finish coats. You need a lightweight filler. This is the one that you use, and it will clog your pads. You cannot finish with that Evercoat. That is not something that you want to finish with. Okay? That is just for like a second coat. It kind of seals this. It's nice heavy mud. Okay, although they call it a light filler, lightweight auto body filler, it's anything but. I don't know why they call it. But it does have a zinc chromate. It does have a rust inhibitor type of element to it. It is a very tough mud. And you let it sit overnight and try to sand it in the morning, you'll know what I mean by that. This stuff you can let sit overnight or something like I'm going to do. When you have a side of the truck as bad as Rusty was, and I'll show you I did some finger painting here. It's still drying, so I'm not going to stick my finger on it to prove my point. This truck was crushed in, and there was a big hump here, so we did our best to take that hump out. We did our best here with blending it with the rocker, so now we have to final sand it. It's all roughed out. We basically use a 60 grit. You don't need much more. I keep saying because I'm not... I was having a little bit of chest pain the other day, and I got it back. And this it stresses you out, because I still didn't get these inner panels in by the vents and stuff like that. And then I have stuff to do underneath here yet. And then I told you I have gussets. So it's going to be like next week. We should have. I'm going to start assembling some of the body here and there in between getting. When I can't do something else, I do something else. Then I do something else if I can't do that. So this is one of those trucks and projects that's just like that. You're not going to do something like this truck overnight. At beer 30, that's why I have a beer. It's quitting time. The sun's going down. But I figured I would exhibit this because a couple guys did have some valid questions about what to buy, where to buy it, or whatever. CarQuest sells this. I have to get this off the internet because nobody will sell this for a decent price in a store. The brick and mortar stores, that's why they're kind of fading away. But I hate to see that when you need other things or inconsequential things. It's sad to see what this country's become because of the imports, the taxes and stuff. Trump is right. Don't destroy America. But that's my point is, first coat, second coat, third coat. First coat, second coat, third coat. And any coats in between. It's like spackling. Only bodywork takes maybe 4, 5, sometimes 6 coats. Depending on your area. I had an intersection here I got to sand out. That's called an intersection because you need more coats in an area like this all the way down the bottom. It just was not a nice area. It was heavy body damage. And then to show you guys something, I don't know if I really got necessarily to show Brian, but this portion here, like I said, I should work for CNN, the retard network, with my camera work. This is evidence of a buckle. I found that this truck was hit, especially by the evidence of trying to get stuff apart in here, and I found newer bolts. So this truck was in a front-end collision, and the body was basically, when I measured, you measured diagonally up the body, not just across, kind of just like you square up framework in a framing project. But you go diagonally, and the body is moved about a ½ inch, which isn't too bad. They got it a little bit back. But it showed up on the other side over here, where I could not get the quarter, the new quarter. I could not get this new quarter to meet here without bringing this out. And as I said, you're going to see that. Somewhere when that door closes, you're going to see it a little bit. And this can't be moved because of the collision. The body was buckled. They actually straightened this. I found the cut where they cut this, the B pillar here. That would be actually a B pillar part of the body right here. As I said, I'm not the best cameraman. If you can get into the groove and look at that, they actually cut that, and that's why you see this right here, this kind of buckle, because that's the way they re-straightened it. These were a high-priced truck. They're going to become worth more money. as time goes on, because this was the innovation of the SUV and the four-wheel drive SUV. These were actually the grandfather of it all. These were the start. So these trucks, they're not going to be around too much. And even if a half-assed restoration like this one, I wouldn't even call it half-assed. I mean, we're going pretty good on what we're doing, and we could do a little bit better. But he doesn't have the money to take this thing and straighten the body and everything. We're gonna, like I said, use the rust inhibitors, my special stuff, and we're just basically gonna get this little piece of history back together. But it had a lot of damage that you're just not gonna bring it back. That's your best buddy right there when you're trying to fix something this awful and bring it back to life. And I'm grateful to Brian for the cooperation and stuff. He's gonna have a great little piece of history to tool around in. And just so you folks know, the advent of a hot rod, how the hot rod came about, it was things like this. They were still useful to somebody, but it's never going to be original with the way it was hit, and things were screwed up, put back together cheaply. They did a real nice job, and they used a real heavy early epoxy clear. I'm thinking that is one of the first Imron clears, or one of the first Sikkens clears, because of how thick and how even it went on. I was very surprised at how thick and how even that finish went on. They don't make stuff like that anymore. You got to fight. Evercoat makes one, this company right here. They make about one of the best clears that's out there if you can get a hold of it, but it's far and few in between. PPG makes a few of the higher. They went to the I think it's the 3.6 or the, what is it? They went from the 320, something like that. I have it in there. I'll exhibit my clear when I do it. But they got our 620 rather. They went to the 630 clears. They're a little bit thicker, a little bit more high solids. So we're gonna show you what this thing looks like once it's in prime. Then this side's still pretty awful. It's got some bumps and different things I got to try to take out of it. As I said, you're going to see something here and there, but it's not as bad as what it was. Like I said, it was a twisted hulking piece of crap. It'll be fairly decent when it's done. Despite being dirty and filthy, it gets cleaned. Just like you and me, when we take a bath, things come out all right. Once a week, I recommend it. Thanks.